What golden nugget of information do you have to share? Monkeys have a very distinct way of wanking off, and yes, they do wank themselves, which, in contrast to normal human male way of forming a tube with their hands, creates a shovel with their hand and cup their genitalia from under, and repeatedly rub it. I don't watch monkeys jack off, I just saw it in a documentary. Edit, I really don't. Edit, this is like 4 days old. How are you finding this GF? I don't have links to monkey porn. In the center courtyard of the Pentagon, you don't have to salute superior officers. It's a recreation lunch area and you basically spend the whole time saluting, so it's not required there. Source, my uncle, a Navy corpsman, who currently works at the Pentagon. Stonehenge, the world's most famous henge, isn't actually a henge. A henge is a Neolithic earthworks, oval or circular in shape, sometimes containing wooden or stone structures, and surrounded by a perimeter of a bank with internal ditch. So the famous stones of Stonehenge aren't even a necessary part of a henge, just an optional extra. But more importantly, the bank and ditch at Stonehenge are the wrong way round, to make it an official henge. So Stonehenge isn't a henge, however the earliest recorded use of the word henge is in reference to Stonehenge, so non-henge, Stonehenge, despite not being a henge, is the thing all other henges are named after. If you don't have a toilet plunger, and you've clogged it up, pour in a bit of dish soap, and some hot water, the hotter the better. Let stand for 15 minutes, and flush. Learned this when immediately upon arriving at our hotel, my 8-year-old clogged up our toilet and I googled. Found this gem, realized I'd packed a tiny travel bottle of dish soap, warmed water up in the microwave, and lo and behold, it worked. I still use it sometimes at home, when I don't wanna be grossed out by plunging. Yes, my child has a tendency to clog toilets, so there ya go. X% of Y is the same as Y% of X. So if you're struggling to find 26% of 50, maybe 50% of 26, 13, is much easier to do quickly. CTRL plus SHIFT plus ESC opens straight to the task manager instead of CTRL plus ALT plus DELETE, and then manually selecting task manager. Horses have a massive blind spot on the front and back of their body. If you are ever around a tame horse, keep a hand on their body while walking around them. This lets it know where you are at all times and decreases chances of kicking out of shock or fear. This also prevents them from kicking you with as much force. You need to stay very close to them for the full benefit. This is similar with goats, as they instinctively fight things coming head on and should be approached from the sides. Also, ears are the gateway to a horse's feelings. Pinned back ears indicates an anxious or angered horse. Pinned straight up indicates curiosity and focus. If your older parents/grandparents are suddenly acting strange, get them checked for a UT. In older people, UTIs can cause a psychotic or delusional episode. At the beginning of every relationship, agree to assume positive intent. Talk about it often. Don't forget about it, and make it the most important rule. Fights will be less, empathy will be greater, and your relationship will be stronger. Hot and cold water have different viscosities. Not enough to feel a difference, but enough to hear one when you're pouring it. Here's a vid. Even though you have a VPN, it doesn't necessarily keep you hidden if skilled people wanted to find you. There are many things that can leak your IP that you have to isolate and fix, such as IPv6 leaks, DNS leaks, and WebRTC leaks. Also, every ad you add to your browser, it gives you a unique fingerprint that can lead back to you. You're not as secure as you think. Artillery was responsible for over 70% of combat casualties in both world wars. A scorpion can hold its breath for 6 days, so don't think drowning it will help you out of your scorpion problem. A moose can run 40 miles per hour through 6-foot deep snow. Foreign garment to be labeled made in USA, the process only needs to be started and finished in America. In the case of a certain ladies' underwear line, the material is cut in USA, shipped overseas for assembly, then shipped back to America, where a seamstress sews a made in USA tag on the item. Source/underwear factory worker. 9 months before Rosa Parks refused to move to the back of the bus, a 15-year-old called Claudette Carlvin refused to give up her seat. 2 police officers arrested her. Carlvin says that civil rights leaders didn't think a teen, especially one with a very dark complexion, would be a good poster child for their movement. Source for anyone interested. The first president of Zimbabwe was President Banana. When looking at renting a car, hotel room, etc., type in your company's name, discount code, vendor in Google. X. Wells Fargo Hertz discount code. You can get better rates on these items usually. Iron can make your poop color turn black. When Elton John changed his name from Reginald Dwight, he also gave himself a middle name. His full name is Elton Hercules John. The earth wobbles really slowly like a spinning top. It takes about 26,000 years to come full circle. In the process, the northern star changes. This is called precession. I had a heart transplant 5 years ago. When your heart is replaced, the surgeon has to cut the main nerve that gets the signal from the brain to beat and or increase the intensity of the beat. Without this, vagus nerve, your new heart has no regulation and pumps blood out of habit. You no longer have a fight or flight response and your new heart beats at 90 plus beats a minute. Never miss a chance to piss. That a strong sense of doom is a medically recognized and majority common precursor to having a heart attack. Armadillos give birth to 4 identical twins always. There are 3 ways to refer to a gathering of geese. 1. If they are on the ground it's **GAGGLE**. 2. If they are flying, but not in a V-shaped formation it's **SKEIN**. 3. If they are flying ***A and D*** in a V-shaped formation, it's **WEDG**. A single spaghetti noodle is called a spaghetto. When you move to a new place, take a 30-minute walk through the neighborhood. Even if you just stop at 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee, it will make it feel a lot more like home. *SPEAKING of golden nuggets of information to share. Goldfish lose their color if they are kept in dim light or are placed in a body of running water, such as a stream. The concept of 3 square meals a day is a diet designed for people working physical labor in the early 1900s. Quality of diet and sticking to daily calorie limits is the only part that really matters. Otherwise, it really doesn't matter what time you eat, although the 3 square meals model is indeed advantageous for day-long maintenance of energy levels. Basically, it's better to just eat when you're hungry than force yourself to eat when you should, so long as you're getting the proper nutrients etc. Get a first aid course, it really does save lives. The Outer Bridge Crossing is a bridge that connects Staten Island, New York to Perth Amboy, New Jersey. You probably think it was named that because it's the outermost bridge in New York City. Wrong. It's named after Eugenius Harvey Outer Bridge. All colors of Fruit Loops have the same flavor. Newly registered nurse working on a hematology ward and learned that stem cells smell like sweet corn. Edit. Thank you all for the upvotes, award and heaps of useful info. Mentioned by a few in the thread. I believe it's the preservative solution that they are kept in that smells and not the actual cells themselves. My colleague also mentioned this when I asked about the smell. But thank you all for a very interesting thread. The main reason we stop doing something we love is because we forget our love of doing it for enjoyment's sake and replace it with a desire to be good at it. Most people replace their computer or run them into the ground when they get hot and slow. When in reality new thermal compound and a solid state drive upgrade can fix both problems and increase its lifespan for about $35 to $50 and isn't incredibly hard to DIY in most cases. Canadians say sorry so much that an act passed in 2009 states that an apology would not be considered admission to guilt. It's 100 times better to break up when you're in a shit relationship than trying to fix it up for the nth time. I work front desk at a hotel. I've seen this before, so I hope it's new to someone. Don't use sites like Expedia etc. If you book directly with the hotel, you can always call to make changes. If you need to cancel, you can avoid the 24-hour window fee by changing your reservation to a few days later. Then call back the next day to cancel. Third-party booking sites are not easy to change info. We cannot change the rate if something needs to be fixed and you are looked down upon, and get whatever basic rooms are available. Not by me personally, but everyone around me. The grey rock treatment is an incredibly useful method of dealing with narcissists and toxic people. If such a person is going at you verbally or behaviorally, screaming or posturing or trying to fight, become like a grey rock in a river. No reaction, don't answer, no movement, just sit calmly and let the stream of crazy flow past you. Bonus points if you can stare blankly. When people thrive on causing a reaction, they absolutely cannot compute when they get no reaction. If you're in physical danger, obviously react to keep yourself safe, but don't argue, explain, or defend verbally. You'll never change a narcissist's mind. It's just walking on a treadmill. Obviously not foolproof. Keep yourself safe first and foremost. Edit. OMG. Thanks for the awards. I'm very humbled. Edit #2. So many people have correctly pointed out that with people prone to physical violence, grey rocking can make them angry enough to escalate. Please evaluate your situation and the abusive party and use whatever tools are necessary to protect yourself.